Nick Foles, you are the danger. Guess what, guys? Yeah. He's going to outduel Drew Brees on Sunday. Mm-hmm. You see, Saints fans may not believe it right now, but accept reality. It's going to happen. Nitrofreak is here. I am Adrian Fedq. Is anybody playing as hot as Nick Foles right now?
Nope. Nobody's playing as hot as Nick Foles is right now. And it's funny you said that because Nick Foles and Drew Brees went to the same exact high school. And for every single Super Bowl that a quarterback wins from that high school, they make a golden ball and they put it in the trophy case. Imagine if Nick Foles, a backup QB, has 2 of those golden balls and Drew Brees, a starting Hall of Famer QB, has 1 of them. Wouldn't that be something else? And this game I'm so confident for this game on Sunday. Not only am I confident for this game on Sunday, I'm confident we're going to win another fucking Super Bowl. Like, this team is just so resilient. They're so much fun to watch. And they're playing like a band of brothers again. It's been a while. You know, everything clicked since the Rams game. I think we're going to do it again. I really do. It's going to be fun.
Once Chicago beat Minnesota, I texted you and I said, you're gonna be a rich man because you cashed in on the ticket. I mean, I'm feeling really good about this. I think they have a legit shot to repeat. If they win this Sunday, they are repeating. I think so. And they have a shot at this. You look at Nick Foles and the way he's playing, what he just did last week, that drive at the end, that was unbelievable. I mean, to do that against the best defense in the NFL when it mattered, the 4th and goal, that throw was unbelievable when you watch the film back, the all-22. For him to flip that ball underneath the arm of Leonard Floyd and put it right on the money to Golden Tate, unreal. And what he's doing now in the playoffs, on 3rd down, I mean, I got the numbers here. In 3rd and 4th downs, 40 of 52, 522 yards, 6 touchdowns, quarterback rating of 146.5 in the playoffs. That's freaking craziness.
It's nuts. And, you know, it's funny because people like to bring up to me all the time, I'm the guy on Twitter that started the whole Carson Wentz, Nick Foles thing. Well, I mean, the only reason why people bring up the whole Carson Wentz and Nick Foles thing is simple, because they love Carson Wentz for what he did in 2017. All right? What I love about Nick Foles more than I love about Carson Wentz is that Nick Foles wins games when it matters, all right? Now, you have another Donovan McNabb and Carson Wentz. I'm not calling him Donovan McNabb, but I'm saying he's like the same type of player where he racks up the stats in the regular season. He wins the regular season games, but we don't know exactly what he is in the playoffs yet, so I'm not going to call him Donovan McNabb just yet.
Yeah.
But we have something in Nick Foles that's a proven player, and that is a winner. Probably one of the most clutch QBs in playoff history. I don't know why you'd get rid of him. I just don't know why you'd get rid of him, but the fan base is kooky, man. They really are.
I want to keep both of them. And, you know, I was the guy last offseason wanting to trade him. So there I go again, just confessing to my sins, committing just freaking blasphemy, basically.
Yeah. No, big time. You know, unfortunately, I don't think you can keep both of them.
You can't. Nick Foles wants to move on.
It's impossible to keep both of them because both of them are going to make 20 million plus in 2 years. You know, so if you kept Nick Foles next year, you'd sign him to the franchise tag, which is a guaranteed $25 million. Yep. So if you sign Carson Wentz to a max deal contract, he's going to net probably 25 to 27 million a year. So you cannot keep both of them. You just have to decide down the road who is the better fit for you. Maybe you want to sign and trade Carson Wentz. Well, not sign and trade, but just trade Carson Wentz from his rookie deal and acquire 3 first-rounders and build the team around Nick Foles. That's an option, which I think that's a smarter option. I mean, you're not going to agree with me on that one, obviously. But
that's going to be a debate for after the season.
Yeah.
Right now it's about Nick Foles, and I want to keep it away from the controversy right now. But hey, you bring up the points, you can talk about it. That's okay. But we are going to have a debate for after the season.
Oh, big time debate, you know, and it's going to get juicy. But yeah, I mean,
no, it won't get juicy. We'll be respectful about it.
Oh yeah, we'll be a little bit respectful. But I mean, there's just not much more I could say about Nick Foles. He's my favorite Eagles player of all time, other than Brian Dawkins. I'd put Nick Foles ahead of Brian Dawkins right now. But he's my favorite Eagles player of all time. He proves time in and time out when you give him the ball in a high-pressure situation, goes right down the field, delivers. Against the Houston Texans, he took a shot on 3rd and 10, delivered a dime, I think it was to Zach Ertz, and we went right down the field, and Jake Elliott nailed that perfect. What was it? 30, 40
field goal, whatever it was. Yeah, I don't
whatever.
remember the yardage.
We won by 2 points, and we went to Washington and smoked Washington. So
Yep.
it's just the guy. Whenever he's on the field, we win games, and that's what you want, especially when we dealt with losing for year after year after year, and now you're just on cloud nine, and you don't think you could lose again. You know, I know EDP obviously. You know, he puts a video out every single week saying like how we're gonna lose and stuff like that. Yeah. He genuinely believes that we're going to lose because of the heartbreak we've dealt with year in and year out. But let me tell you something. When we won this Chicago game, he texts me and he's like, "Dude, why do I have a feeling we're gonna win this shit again?" Because it's just like when it doinks off the two of the goalposts, not just one, two of them, and comes our way. When does that ever happen? Like 5 years ago, that would have went like 50 yards the other way, you know? So it's just crazy. It's crazy being an Eagles fan right now, and it's funny that we're the worst conversation we could have as Eagles fans is a Carson Wentz and Nick Foles debate. Right now. Literally.
It's literally the worst conversation right now. It's one I don't even want to have because like I just want to enjoy the playoff run. I don't want to get agitated over something stupid that doesn't matter right now.
We're not even talking about the fucking coaches anymore. Mike Rowe's safe. Schwartz is safe. Doug's obviously safe. Everyone's safe. They're all safe.
I don't know if Mike Rowe is safe, but I don't know if I like it, but whatever. Like, it's okay.
I have to like him though, you know?
Yeah.
Mike Rowe, everyone was like, this guy sucks, he needs to get fired. And then all of a sudden Nick Foles comes in and everything's fixed. Everything's fixed out of nowhere. And maybe he works better with Nick Foles. I don't know.
Yeah. I think what happened was I think Doug started getting like a lot more control of the offense because you can see, even with the play calling last week, I think the play calling has been a lot better. Even with like that triple screen to Goddard, like Mike Rowe ain't coming up with that. The Alshon Jeffrey where he's motioning out of the backfield and lining out wide and then getting the first down on the 3rd and 9. That's the type of stuff we weren't seeing earlier in the season. So I don't know if that's Mike Rowe. I think that's probably more Doug Peterson. But hey, yeah.
No, I agree with you 100%. I'm just saying Mike Rowe's job is safe.
It is.
You're at the second round of the playoffs, you know. So after a 9-7 season.
Yeah.
But no, and everyone likes to bring this up to me all the time. Now, I hate going back to Carson Wentz because it's obviously about Nick Foles. But Carson Wentz, they give him a ton of shit to do. All right, the playbook is not as limited as it is with Nick Foles.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
So they make Carson do all this stuff and risk him getting injured. Where Nick Foles is just basic RPOs, run it, pass it, just basic shit. Like if it's not fucking working for Carson Wentz, why don't you just dumb it down for him as well? Like I just don't get it. Like if it's obvious that he was hurt, like zoning in on Zach Ertz every single play, like change it up a little bit. That's where I think the coaching fucked up. But I'm happy with where we are right now, so it is what it is.
So let's start talk a little legacy of Nick Foles and kind of how far he's come along here. So Carson Wentz is what, he's 25 now, or is he 26? He's 26. So let's look back at Nick Foles. So 24 years old was Nick when that 2013 season happened. And, you know, like I've kind of confessed my sins again, like I've told you. I probably got Nick Foles wronger than any player I've ever, thought about or evaluated. But back in 2013, I was a believer, and that was the 27-2 season. He was like the 9.1 yards per attempt was number 1 in the NFL. His quarterback rating was 119.2. He threw 7 touchdowns in a game. I thought he and Chip Kelly were ready to just like take over the NFL. And then the next season happened, and I know like we talked pre-show, he went 6-2, but the stats weren't that great. 13 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, had a lot of turnovers. So a down season, and I thought he kind of struggled with some pressure there. But that first season in 2013, I mean, I was a believer.
Yeah, it was incredible. And, it's funny because Deion Sanders on the NFL Network, former Cowboy player, said that we have a future with Nick Foles as our franchise quarterback. Like back in a highlight video, it's like right at the beginning. And from that point forward, I was like, yes, we do. This guy, he has ice in his veins. Like nothing bothers this guy. And if you could get a little bit, I don't want to fucking go back to him. I don't want to go back to Wentz. This is not about Wentz. This is about Foles.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So if Wentz could get a little bit of what Foles has when it comes to ice in the veins, and with his play style, we have a winner right there. But the problem I'm having is the reason why I don't want to give up Nick Foles is because if Carson's not that winner in the postseason, I'm going to feel like shit for getting rid of Nick Foles. Like he looks flashy. He looks like that stripper you take from Las Vegas, and you don't think they have anything, but you find out that you get back to the room, they have chlamydia or whatever they have. It's just like, it's not what you expect, you know? And I don't know what to expect of Carson Wentz because he's never played in the playoff game.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's risky. Like once you get to the playoffs, some can do it and some can't. It's just how it is. Like Donovan McNabb could never do it. Like he was a loser.
No, he was. No, he was. With Carson, we'll see. I think it was like encouraging that. I mean, I know he was hurt and all that bullshit, but I thought it was encouraging that Giants game forward, that little difference in the clutchness factor, at least, because the rookie season he was struggling, couldn't come back in a game and get that game-winning drive at the end. Last year, didn't really have a lot of opportunities because they were blowing everyone out. And then this year, you had the Carolina game, couldn't make it happen there. The Titans game couldn't make it happen in the overtime. But like he did have the Giants game. There's progress, hopefully. And that's what you hope for, is that with these experiences that you grow from it. But I'm with you on the whole ice in the veins. I do think that's something you could take away from Nick Foles and hopefully learn from him, because that's just not normal.
No, it's not normal. I know. In my honest opinion, you have to have that natural, God-given ability to take pressure like that in the postseason. Like that's what makes the best of what they are. Like the best of the best, what they are. Tom Brady, one of the best when it comes to last-minute drives. Eli Manning in the playoffs, one of the best when it comes to last-minute drives. Yep. Players like that, they're a dime a dozen, and you can't find them. And a lot of people give shit to Eli Manning for playing like shit in the regular season, but come crunch time, the guy delivers and the guy wins.
Yeah.
So you want a player that is able to bring you to the promised land time in and time out. Another one, okay? This might ruffle a few feathers. Aaron Rodgers, great regular season quarterback. Iffy on the playoff side. He has one title, but they're on a roll. They were the 6th seed. They went to Arlington Texans and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think it was by like 5 or 6.
Yep.
They're wild card.
They beat us in the wild card.
Yeah, and we were on the roll that season too.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just Aaron Rodgers is another weird one where I don't think he has what it takes to perform in the playoffs.
Well, his stats on like game-winning drive situations aren't good at all.
No, they're not. He was good against the Bears week 1. Against San Fran, he was good, but that was against San Fran. Other than that, yeah, Aaron Rodgers is great, but
Peyton Manning is the other one.
Exactly. Yeah. Peyton Manning was great, and look at him. He has 2 titles, but one of them was pure defense.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that he learns, kind of learns from his mistakes, and I'm hoping that Dallas game was a stride forward, because I thought those 2 touchdown drives were pretty impressive from him. That's the first time I've seen him like completely unflappable in that late game situation.
Well, yeah, if he won that Dallas game, there's no doubt in my mind he would have started the week after. There's no doubt. Like they would have had him out there for the Rams game. But maybe it's a blessing in disguise. The better guy goes forward, the more healthier guy goes forward. And maybe this is God's gift, So I don't know. I'm just happy that we're back in the situation we are. I really am.
Yep.
So Nick was just adding to his legacy.
Yep. And speaking of the legacy, let's go back to it. So brought up the 2013 season. We talked about 2014. Even his rookie season, 2012, he started 6 games, and he had that win against Tampa Bay where he led.
Yeah, the same exact pass that was to Golden Tate in the end zone on Sunday. It was the same exact play.
Yeah.
He rolled out and threw to Jeremy Maclin.
Right roll to the right. And then 2015, the year that everybody likes to call the Jeff Fisher year. Now, I think it's more than just Jeff Fisher, though. It's a lot more than Jeff Fisher. And I go back to kind of the point where Nick Foles, he struggles with a poor offensive line. He struggles with pressure in his face, I think. And you look at this offensive line back in St. Louis, it was. I mean, you look. It was Greg Robinson was their left tackle. Barrett Jones was their center. Barrett Jones was in Philly.
Yeah.
You know, like he couldn't even play in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So that line was abysmal. And Nick Foles had no time to throw. He had nothing. Case Keenum was there too that year. He didn't have any time to throw either. So it's like it's a combination. Yeah, sure, Jeff Fisher plays a part, but I think it's a lot more the offensive line just being terrible, abysmal. They had Todd Gurley, and even he couldn't run with that offensive line.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you need the biggest part of a football team is obviously the offensive line. Without an offensive line, you're nothing.
Yep.
No running game, no passing game. You're not going to put points on the board, so defense doesn't matter. And I thought it was a disgrace that we traded Nick Foles for Sam Bradford straight up. I don't know what Chip Kelly was thinking there. Maybe he just wanted to do it his way and not with Andy Reid's guys. Because Nick Foles is Andy Reid's guy. You know, he's the one that drafted him.
Yep.
So it's just crazy to me how people bring up the Jeff Fisher years and his time in Kansas City where he contemplated retiring. It's obvious as hell that he's comfortable in Philadelphia. You know, this is the place he wants to be, and he performs under pressure in the city that runs people out of town.
Yeah, literally.
You know, it's crazy. You know, he loves playing in a city that no one wants to play for because of the fans, and it's nuts. It's a storybook. You can make this out of a movie. It's nuts.
Oh, the 30-30 will be happening. Movies will be happening. I'm sure a book has already been written by Nick Foles. So, yeah, it's storybook. I mean, just again, it's biblical type shit. Good old Saint Nick, BDN. I mean, whatever you want to call him. And you know, going back to that trade, you know, Chip Kelly just I mean, that offense was about having to put the ball in the proper shoulder and being deadly accurate. And he thought that Sam Bradford was going to be the guy. It just didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Bradford, he was very accurate. The problem is he can never stay healthy. That's number one.
Yeah.
Number two, he had no build whatsoever. All right? As a quarterback, you don't really have to have the biggest build ever, but he had none. Like, he was – Yeah. And you can't be like that as a quarterback. You're going to get hurt. You get hit at least 50 times during a season, at least.
Yeah.
And you just can't be built like that. Like, I mean, it's like, dude, you're getting paid like $30 fucking million in 2 years. Put some muscle on and stay in the fucking pocket. You know, it's not that it's stupid. It's garbage, and it's pissing me off as I'm talking about it. It's like common sense. It's like, dude, you're making all this money, you're robbing people, and you're staying the same fragile piece of shit that you've always been. You know. So
yes, Sam Bradford, he's got his ski mask on this offseason too.
Yes, Sam Bradford's the worst.
God, and he's still continued. Like even Arizona paid him $15 million or whatever it was.
He sucked.
Like, Jesus Christ. All right, so Kansas City happened. He had that one start where he did really well. So he started one game, and then obviously last year comes back to Philadelphia. So you know that's kind of the career and how he got here again. Obviously, we know what he did last year and what he's doing right now. So there it is. So as we talk about Nick Foles, I ask you this. What do you think are the keys to victory Sunday?
Keys of victory are Nick Foles has to play absolutely perfect. He can't have any turnovers because the New Orleans Saints is the type of team that will capitalize off turnovers. But the big key to victory is our defense. Because the defense in the red zone, we haven't given up many red zone touchdowns the whole year. You know, we've been really good at that. We've actually been flawless at that.
Yeah.
Limit them to field goals. We'll be all right. Because I don't see Nick Foles slowing down at all. I don't, especially in a dome in perfect conditions. I don't see it. Thank you. Seriously, I don't see how we lose this game. I'm being completely honest with you. Like, everyone's like, we're going to lose because they're the better team. Are they the better team right now?
They're not the better
team right now. Like, I mean, I see the number 1 seed. I see the 13-3. But I'm looking at how our team is playing right now. Are they the better team? Really? I don't think so. Other than the running game with Kamara and Ingram to our Wendell Smallwood and Josh Adams, and possibly Sproles, it's gravy. It's just like, okay, like we're gonna stop their run game. You know, we have one of the best defensive lines in football. So, Fedke, I don't see how we lose this game. I really don't, and I don't know why the line is 8 points. I just
that is like the easiest line ever.
Yeah,
I don't know why it's 8. I don't know why it was 6 last week either.
it's cake.
Yeah. Put your money on them. Hey, I'm putting it on the money line. Fuck it.
Oh, I am too. It's plus 290 right now.
Yeah. So, so you bring up those great points, obviously, and I've got the numbers to back it up. I mean, 22.4 points per game for the Saints since that Week 11 victory, and prior to that, it was 37.5 points per game for them. So, 15 points less. That's a lot. That's a big dip.
Thank you. They almost lost to the Carolina Panthers, who lost 6 straight games leading up to that game.
Yeah.
They got waxed by the Carolina Panthers Week 17. Granted, a lot of their starters weren't playing, but they still got waxed at home. Okay? And there were some players on that team that are going to be playing on Sunday. So a lot of people are like, don't make so much out of that game. It's not really that big of a deal. Well, they got killed by a team that wasn't even playing Cam Newton, you know? So they played the Steelers, who really weren't that good this year. The Steelers were not good this year at all. They were out of chemistry. Antonio Brown hates them. Le'Veon Bell hated them. James Conner was hurt. The coaching staff was in disarray. And the Steelers almost went in there.
That game is why I think we're winning. Because we have a much better defense than them.
Yeah, much better. It's not even close. Like you have Cameron Jordan, but I don't see it. I don't see it. And I saw Ray what was his name? Ray Didinger saying the Saints would win, and he's usually right. I don't fucking see it. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be biased or anything. I just think right now we are the better team as the 6th seed.
They are. But they are. Like, their Eagles are averaging they were 3rd in the league in scoring from Week 11 on to close the year. So that means they were scoring more than New Orleans. And then the defense is balling right now. Last 4 games, it's only 2.5 yards per carry allowed. And in that Week 11 game, the Saints are running up and down the field. So it's not going to be like that anymore. You're going to be able to throw the ball on them. I think the game plan is going to be like the Texans game.
Yeah.
So you're going to throw it like twice as much as you're going to run it. What's the number? I think they're dead last in deep passing allowed. I'm pretty sure they are. They're dead.
Do you want to know the real key to the victory? One of the first key to victory.
What is it?
1, shut down that crowd. All right. If you
off hot, that's good.
If you go down the field and score on your open possession and they get quiet, we're gonna have a cakewalk of a day. Because without that crowd, that team isn't much. Because that crowd makes everything. Because it's so noisy in there. It's ridiculous. And I've never been there, but you can hear it. It's like the loudest stadium. So
yeah, you could hear it. No, you could hear it. So you bring up the red zone points and the fact that this is probably going to be a shootout. Both teams are going to put some up. Both teams are going to move the ball up and down the field. And it's so like it's the blatantly obvious thing to say, like, you got to score touchdowns and not kick field goals, but it's so true in this game. And you look at the red zone defenses, Eagles are number 1. Saints are 24th.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, every matchup you look at, the Eagles are actually in favor in a lot of these areas.
Well, this is a game where I see Doug Peterson going for it a lot on 4th down.
I do too, yes.
Because you can't kick field goals against the Saints. You have to go toe-to-toe with them, especially if it's like 4th and 1, 4th and 2. You go for it all the time, especially the way our offense has been run. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty simple. The game plan should be simple. Everything should be simple. It should be vanilla down. And, FedQ, it's going to be a win. It's going to be a fucking win. It really is.
Yeah, I'm feeling it. I mean, the key is to keep Nick Foles protected because I have faith that he's going to pick apart the defense. It's not really that good of a secondary as long as you keep him upright. And obviously the offensive line has proven that they can keep Nick Foles upright. Khalil Mack, Aaron Donald, J.J. Watt, no sacks, nothing. So,
none.
And they're not. And those guys are better than Cameron Jordan. So, and Cameron Jordan's underrated. He's really good, but sorry, pal.
He's not close. Yeah.
It's not. Just not. So I've got 31-28 Eagles. And because of that Steelers game, I look at that Steelers game, and I'm just like, yeah, I think Eagles are going to win.
I got 28-20 Birds. I think it's all touchdowns, obviously. Other than the Saints, I think the Saints are limited to at least 2 field goals.
Yeah.
But for us, it's going to be 4 touchdowns all by Nick. I don't think we have a running touchdown at all. I think it's all Nick Foles. Because like you just said, their secondary is one of the worst when it comes to the long, deep pass, and I think we're going to air it out a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Nick Foles puts it on the money every single time. So if you look at film, his bomb the Aguilars, like, it's the right thing to do, you know?
Yep.
And I just think that he's going to have a day. I really do. And it'll go for his legacy once again.
No, I agree with you. I think it's going to look like the Texans game. He's going to throw it all over the field. I can see 4 touchdowns. I'm thinking 4 touchdowns here.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. And I'm thinking even like 350-plus yards, something like that.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be an over, definitely. I think the over-under is like 58.
Yeah. So. 58. So 31-28. That's what, 59? So, okay.
Yeah.
I'm right on the number there. I'm right on the number.
I got the under.
The under could be a good play because the Saints are the team that, you know, they're only averaging 22 points a game since week 11. So, you know, maybe this is more of a defensive slugfest than I think it's going to be.
If anything, we'll be the team that puts them to over.
Yeah.
That'll be crazy, right?
But you got a good score there because, you know, that indicates the Eagles are going to score the touchdowns and the Saints are going to kick the field goals, and that's pretty much what you got to do here.
Yeah, exactly. Now the 2 weeks off could help them, but I thought Sean Payton being the biggest piece of shit that he is, bringing in the armored guards and the money and the trophy, it's like he's putting a bounty out on someone. So, you know, it wouldn't shock me if they tried to like go after Nick Foles the first play of the game, just put a dent in him. But then I think one of our players just socks him right in the fucking mouth and it's like, hey, do that again, I'll fucking kill you.
Well, then we're gonna go after Drew Brees. We're gonna take out. So, hey, Nate Sudfeld versus Taysom Hill. Let's go.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. Oh, my God. Taysom Hill. Jesus Christ. No, I remember I remember what – did they use him as the third quarterback?
Let's actually – Bridgewater is their backup.
No, the third quarterback.
Yeah, he's their third guy. Bridgewater's the backup. I forgot Bridgewater was their backup. Or is he their backup? Did they trade?
Bridgewater played against some Smith dude against Carolina.
Okay, yeah. So Bridgewater, yeah. All right. I think that's about it. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No, not at all. Eagles Nation, we have a big game this Sunday. Everyone's got to go exactly where they were last week. For me, it's at the bar, drinking as much as I can. No drinking and driving. It's really bad for you. And if you do that, you're just an asshole anyway. So go back, do whatever you got to do. If you're going to a bar, take a Lyft, Uber. Superstitions. Don't change anything up. And I guarantee we will come out of the Superdome with the win. That's just how I got it.
There it is. Nitrofreak has spoken. I am Adrian Vecchio. We're out of here. Birds are going to win. Better believe it. Peace.
Yes, sir. Go Birds.